Hey, hey, what's going on? This is Ricardo with the Code 7 Podcast Network, and we are about to get started with Open Mic Live. But first, the countdown. We'll do a countdown because I still I'm working on a new intro and everything. So we'll do the countdown and we'll be right back. Oh yeah, and welcome back everyone. Woo! It is it's October 13th. Yeah, it's going fast. A lot of things going on. Big shout out to In Digital. Thank you for everything. Live broadcast sponsored by In Digital Leader Next Gen Core Services. And also shout out to subscribers of the podcast, but especially all of you who are watching, listening, supporting, and sharing. Thank you so very much for everything. Oh, it's good to be back, man. There's a few things that have been going on since the last one that I did, and I think it's been about a week or so. Either way, it's good to be back. Like I said, there's so much stuff that's been going on, and we've got a lot to talk about today. But as always, with Open Mic Live, how are you doing? How are you feeling? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being shitty and 10 being awesome, how are you feeling? I'll tell you what, I am feeling a hell of a lot better than the last time I was on and even prior to that because of the diverticulitis and all the other bullshit. Um, it's a lot better. So I'm coming in at like an 8 already, already up there. How about all of you? Where are you coming in at? Again, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being shitty, 10 being awesome. Where do you fall? What is that number for you? Also, where are you watching from? Where are you at? I've got Facebook, YouTube, X, as well as Instagram going here right now, and it has been there's been a because of all the traveling and everything. I mean, when I so it was probably the week of September 17th. I ended up posting, and I said that I was gonna be on back to back, to back to back to back, to back to back, traveling, until about the middle of November. So I am actually here, home, and working and stuff for the next, I think, like, week and a half, and then from there, I will be going to Mexico. I'll be going to Mexico, and, it is gonna be awesome. So you know what? Let's start there. Oh, actually, Sabrina, what's up? Sabrina, what's going on? Coming in at a 9 has been a good week. Got to go to Lincoln and teach this past week. That is excellent. Awesome. Awesome. And Fletch, that's right. It is your birthday today. What's up, brother? And happy birthday. Says, howdy, I'm at a 63 because today's my birthday and I'm an old fart. Dude, I would have honestly, I would have never guessed that you were at 63. No, not at all. Would not have guessed that, but happy birthday, brother. I hope that it has been an excellent, excellent day, and I see other folks, jumping in here as well. We've got Crown King coming in from Oregon, and, this is good. People jumping in and everything. It's good to see all of you here, and, it's good to be back so that I can get back into the swing, of this as well because with all the traveling and everything that I've been doing, it has put production of some of the episodes, like, they've been a little later. You've noticed that they've been coming out on, like, Fridays and Saturdays instead of Wednesday. That's when I usually, put them out there. and I've had to push them back, and also with Open Mic Live, I've had to push it back as well. Either I do it out of state, or I just let it go, and I do it the following week, and I'll post something saying that we'll be back next week or whatever, because there's just been so much um, traveling and teaching and just everything else that's been going on. And looking at my notes here, I'm already like behind on this as well. So let's see, 568 went out, and or 569. See, I don't even know. No, 569 is coming out already. It's gonna be the next one coming out. Good night, man. Geez. Um, so just looking at everything here, and yeah, okay. So let's go ahead and jump in with some of the travel that's been going on. So the last couple of weeks, the traveling that I've had was out to Vegas, as well as out to North Carolina. Let's start with Vegas. Vegas was fun, man. Let me rewind that. Not f It wasn't fun like you're like, I wasn't going out to, I was in the casino at, Harrah's. Nice casino, love it. Believe it or not, their tower rooms, they're $55 a night. 55 bucks a night. Their base is like 32. And of course, this is on a weekday. If it were over the weekend, it would have been a lot more expensive, but just on the weekday, that's how much it was, and that was pretty awesome. That was amazing. Um, so the reason I was out in Vegas was because I was the keynote speaker for the for NeoGov's user group conference, which is Ignite 2024. Their main keynote speaker for the entire conference, though, his name was Aaron, and for the life of me, I cannot remember his last name. But back in, I believe it was like 2003, he was hiking, and he ended up falling down in like this canyon, where he ultimately, after being out there for, I believe it was 127 hours, he cut this from the forearm up to his hand, like, off. He cut it off so that he could survive, man. And just listening to his story, holy moly, that was something. That was it. It was a very, very powerful story, man. I enjoyed it greatly, and, everybody else there did as well. It was really cool, and, James, what's going on, dude? I haven't seen you on social media that much, and, of course, this is open mic has been hit or miss, but like I said in the beginning, I'm gonna be more consistent now that some of the trips are dialing back, because I'm getting towards the end of this big old long stint of traveling. So, what's going on, bro? It's good to see you. And yes, Vegas. Yeah, it was very cool. It was fun, and the most fun was the fact that, like, being there at that conference. So it was a big one. I haven't even posted pictures yet because I've been so busy, but I'm going to be posting pictures so that you can see and everything. And so it's like I said, it was users group. I had not done a speaking spot like that before, where it was a user group conference, and it was just the people were super nice. Shelly, thank you so much for everything, and NeoGov, and giving me the opportunity to go there and be the public safety keynote speaker. And it was crazy, because so for first off, it was in the Caesars Forum, and it was in a ballroom, which I was not expecting. So the room was enormous. It ended up being packed, but in the beginning when I went in there, well, the day before. So something that I love to do is more so for just like me in preparation for speaking, right? I look for my room. Like a lot of other folks who speak, they will look for their room and get ready and everything. And James says, doing good. Thanks for asking. I'm about an 8. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Um, so I was looking for the room, and there was a sign, and my room was supposed to be 137, and there was a sign that said, like, I don't know, 128 through 141, or I don't know, something like that. Well, I start walking down and it skips over 137. It's like, so where the hell am I gonna be speaking? And then I see a sign that says it says room 137. However, the actual room number was 129. So there was a sign with an arrow pointing 137, but the actual room number was 129. So I had to go find people. And I said, "Is this actually the room?" And they said, "Yeah, on the layout, the map that they gave us, that is actually 137, but it's not marked 137. It's actually 129." I was like, "Okay, well, um, hopefully people find the room because I couldn't even find it. I'm the speaker tomorrow." So luckily, so they had an app, right? Like a lot of the big conferences do. They had an app, and they put it out there, and they said, if you're looking for room 137, either use the side door for 129 or the front door of 121. So it was cool. But then the next day, I get in there. I'm early, right? Testing out the audio, the mics, and everything, and the video, the couple of videos that I'm going to play. And, I'm looking at the room and I thought, this is enormous." And at the time, there were like 5 people in there. Now, I still had about, uh, 15, 20 minutes to go, but I thought, even if it's this, even if there was 1 person in there, I would still do it as if the energy in the room was completely packed, because don't let that stuff mess you up. If you are a new speaker, public speaker, do not ever let the attendance in the room throw you off your game. You rock that shit. Rock it. So I'm there and I'm on stage and I'm just like, all right, just kind of in my head, like, we're gonna do this. This is gonna be good. And the other thing that made me just kind of slightly nervous, um, was the fact that, there was a a nice chunk of attendees that were from public safety, but the rest of the attendees were like, HR, finance, government workers, educators. Like, there was a lot that were not in public safety, but that company has a public safety branch. So I'm thinking, I don't know how this is going to go over, because I had changed a few things in it, because my keynote and my story is all towards like 911 professionals, but I just had to add in there, like, this is for anyone, like, anyone's voice, and story can change the world and stuff. So I'd added that in there, and there ended up being like then 10 to 15 people, and there was about 5 minutes left, and I was like, "All right, we're gonna rock it out." And I was gonna tell people, like, move forward, and, just so that, I'm closer, and I was thinking I was just gonna come down off the stage and just talk to everybody right there up front. Nope, what I didn't know, or realize, I guess, was that the ballroom next to me, they had I think their CEO was actually talking to the audience, like all the attendees, for like 25 minutes. It was just kind of like a recap of the first day, and just saying, this is what you can look forward to for the rest of the week, or whatever. So then the doors open and floods of people, like floods of people are coming in, and then I start getting even more nervous. I'm like, "Oh, dude." It was like it was like the doors for church on a Sunday morning opened, and everybody was trying to rush for a pew, or people are waiting for the buffet line to open, and everybody starts running in. That's how it was. And I thought, okay, and so it ended up being a packed house, man. And it was a ton of fun. Like, yeah, I've shared my story before in the past, and I've done it a lot, but it's hard to explain, like, the energy in the room. And I think also it was because it was a whole brand new audience of people who had never, 1, not heard my story, but also 2, didn't know really anything about 911 or 911 professionals and what it is that they do. So, right off the bat, as I'm talking, like, people are just, "What?" And even a few people that were, like, working on stuff while they were sitting in there, like, completely stopped. And we went through the whole thing, like, there were a few people who, were pretty emotional during some of the pieces, and, it was just so much fun. Just being up there, the flow, just, like, all of it. It's hard to explain other than saying it was so much fun. Like, I was just through the whole thing, like, even and after it, I was so jazzed and energized. I was just, "Woo!" Like, that was awesome. So we go through it, we get to the end, and there were people that were sitting right up front who were looking at me, and they're like, "We had no idea." Like, "Wow." Like, the people who came up and said thank you, and, for the presentation and everything, and for the stuff that I've been doing with Imagine Listening and the I Am 911 movement and just sharing stories, and then the folks who had, like I said, had no idea were coming up and just saying, like, "We have" like, I have so much more respect now for 911 professionals because I had no idea, I didn't know. And then the 2 AV guys are walking up to the stage as I'm giving them, the mic and stuff, and I say, "Well, I hope you guys enjoyed it." They're like, "Bro, that was wow." And again, like, one of them goes, "It's really interesting to hear, like, from the outside look like, have this perspective because you don't usually hear this." So, a lot of the people that were in there that had never heard anything like that before were just like, just completely blown away, and, they wanted to learn more. So, that was so awesome. Thank you to everyone who is there. Thank you again to NeoGov, to Shelly who helped me out with everything, while I was there. And, one of the other things that was really cool was where I was where I was at, um oh, wait a minute. Jamie here says, "It's been a rough week, but on a good note, I'm peer support certified through the state of Georgia as of Friday." Hell yes, congratulations. I'm sorry that it's been a rough week, but that is awesome news right there. Well done. Congratulations. That is awesome. Yeah, very cool. I love it. Looking over here on Instagram, Fletch, telling the story is what will get the public to recognize the importance of 911 and funding initiatives. Yes, yes, sir. Yes, fully. And that's what a lot of people were saying. Like I said, they were just super blown away, man. And I just had so much fun up there. Like, it just people were asking questions, and I was answering, and it was a lot of fun. Like, when I left, I was just, like, cheesing it. I was just super cheesing it the whole time. Jamie says, "Great job, Ricardo, keep up your awesome." Thank you so much, I appreciate that. It was really cool, and also a lot of other folks that, were not in the profession to hear, like you can tell, like, when you're talking to someone and they feel it, right? Like, you can see it, that they feel it, that they know that they're learning, that they're in it. But also to hear, like, maybe some of these people, they don't hear, like, how important they really are, whether it is public safety or the other folks that were there doing what they do for a living. Just to hear someone say, "Look, no matter what profession you're in, it takes one voice to change the world or the world around you. One voice. It can be done. Your voice is important. Your story is important. You can do this." And there were a lot of people who were just like, "Yeah." And so what I was gonna say as well is, so I was in one of the valley towers, and, right outside my window, like I said, I haven't posted these pictures yet. I wish I would have posted them right away, but, I'm gonna be posting them late. Either way, looking out my window, the sphere was right there. So that was really cool to see, and, I thought it was gonna be, like, too bright, like, I wasn't gonna be able to sleep, but It actually ended up being it was almost like a nightlight. Someone that I was telling that, to, they said, I mean, excuse me, they said, "There's, like, blackout, curtains that you could have drawn." And I stood there for a moment and I said, "Yeah, but I was already laying down, I wasn't gonna get up." Like, I was I was already too comfortable, so I just left it, but it was like I said, it was just like a mini nightlight, and I passed out. The thing that kept me up, however, was really, 1, the time change. That screwed me up completely because my internal clock, I get up at 6 in the morning all the time, so when I woke up, it was 3 in the morning Vegas time, and I thought, "Oh, no." Luckily, I was able eventually to go back to sleep for, like, an hour, but, what are you gonna do, right? What are you gonna do? First world problems. Um, and then the other thing was that, the pillows. So, they were comfy, but there was a problem, and it was because of the amount of, like, feathers that were in there, like, the stems on the end. Dude, like, I got stabbed in the face once, the back of the neck, the back of the head. At one point, I just threw them off, and I slept with the blanket kinda curled up and just had that as a pillow, and that was way more, comfortable, and I wasn't getting stabbed by the feathers. Oh, man, it was something. Like I said, every time I travel, there's something that always happens. It always happens. But what are you gonna do, right? What are you gonna do? But either way, it was a lot of fun. The experience was just it was just really good, and, who knows? Maybe I'll start jumping on, more user group, um, conferences or just other conferences in general where it's because really it's like an inspirational, motivational, one, and, hello over there in Tampa as well. Hello from Indiana. By the way, in Tampa, are because of, things that, because of the hurricane recently, I hope, that you're okay, that everything came out fine. I have my mom and my younger sisters are in Central Florida, down in the Lake Wells, like, Winter Haven area, and, they ended up, being okay, but thoughts out to everyone out there that, was impacted by that hurricane as well. I can't even imagine. I lived in Florida for about 4 years, and not one hit while I was there. I didn't even see an alligator until I think the last, um, couple weeks before I moved back to Michigan, and it was in a ditch by the mall. It wasn't like anything else. Let's see. We actually Oh, so you're not far from Winter Haven. You're not far from, Legoland. So then that, I think that area kind of like it was a category 1 pretty much, right, by that time? Let's see, hubby worked for Tampa Fire, and up until I had our daughter, I worked in dispatch. Oh, man, that's awesome. That is very cool. And, well, with everything that was going on, I can't even imagine what the hubby was going through, with the fire department. Oof. A lot of different things going on. It was insane, she says. Oh, yeah, I can't like I said, I can't imagine. I'm, on the outside looking in, just kind of watching all of this stuff that's, been going on. Like, I have a lot of friends who actually flew out to North Carolina because of Helene, and then I saw that, like, Florida Turt was pulling their teams back because of Milton coming up, and all of it was gnarly, man. See, scary storm, never experienced this ever. Yeah. I I'm glad you're okay. I'm glad you're here, and everything ended up being alright. And again, for everybody out there, thoughts go out to you and all the teams from 911 to the rest of the, different disciplines of public safety. Shout out, heart goes out to all of you. Um, so that was Vegas. I had some pretty loud neighbors in the hotel, which was which was kind of funny. Like the kids were fine, but it was their parents that were loud. And when I say loud, I don't mean that there were other things going on, right? They were just loud talkers in general, and I was just sitting there because one of the things that they would do is instead of, like, actually telling their kids, like, "No, don't do that," or, "Don't do this," or whatever, they would yell really loud, "Uh-oh." They would yell, "Uh-oh." Like, instead of saying, "No, don't do that," or "Oh, be careful," it was just like, "Uh-oh," like, really loud. And I'm sitting there like, "Wait, what? Huh?" What's funny is that a few times it was, like, right next to the door because the rooms were it was like a join room and stuff, and it was like they were right there, and, it was interesting, but the whole trip was fun, man. It was excellent. Back over here, I followed you for a long time. I worked on dispatch for over 10 years, and you have been an inspiration. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate you. Thank you. If you ever wanna be on the podcast, I would love to have you on to share your story from the time that you were in dispatch. So, I have to hit you up because that would be fun to have you on, if you're interested, of course. But thank you. I appreciate the kind words, and it has definitely been Oh, she says, "Let's do it." Yeah! Alright. Okay. Um, Shoot me a message on Instagram and, yeah, alright, awesome, and I'll send you the link so that we can get, hooked up and stuff and do this. Oh, yeah, hell yes. That's awesome. Um, yeah, I've been doing this for over a decade now, and, the very first time I started all of this, the very first version of what I do for a living now was in 2010, and it was a college project, and it was just trying to get people more aware of what it's like for us, and of course, all of it started through my own struggle, and, if I can help in any way to give back so that others can share their stories and everything else, that's what I'm gonna keep doing. It's been my passion for years. Been telling people how much power you have in your story, in your voice, all of it. So, thank you again for the kind words. It has been an amazing experience, and I love what I do. Really love this. Fletch over here says TERT is yet another function that the public has no idea about. That's true. They need to understand that first responders have families as well and need relief. Yes, yeah, that's another thing. I've explained it to a few people, um, because a lot of times, like when these storms have happened and everything else, or a disaster or whatever, that a TERT team goes out, I've had that question where it's, well, when 911 needs help, who does 911 call? I'm like, well, there are, depending on the situation, right? There are TERT teams, and then I start explaining what that is, and especially with like North Carolina and out of Nashville and other places, and I think maybe in Tennessee there might have been some too. um, I was explaining some of that and just saying how it works. And heart out goes to all of you who have been out there. I've got a lot of friends that are still out there now. Um, let's see, messaging you now. I'm so down. It's been a wild ride. Oh, I cannot wait for this. Yes, I cannot wait. This is going to be awesome. Excellent. Um, so after Vegas, I came home for like a day and a half. I'm serious. Like, no shit. It was about a day and a half, that I was home, and when I got home, I remember my kids are like, "Wait, you leave soon again, don't you?" And I said, "Yeah, I do. I do leave again soon." And they're like, "How soon?" I was like, "Oh, like the next day. Like it's already coming up. Like I'm here with you guys this whole day." Yeah, because I got back on I think it was Friday. I got back Friday or something like that, and, I don't even know. That's how much I've been traveling. Maybe it was a couple days. Either way, I was already gonna be leaving again, and, I flew out back to Raleigh, and, I did my last class, okay? So, here is the thing with that one. That was a lot of fun. All 4 classes, powerful, lots of fun. It was an excellent time. Into Raleigh Wake 911, if you ever see this or you see any of my posts, thank you, all of you. I had so much fun with you. The class that I teach is a back to basics on communications, but through the power of storytelling. And we're everything that we talk about, we're bridging the gap, whether it be between new folks and seasoned folks or season and season. Basically, it's like reflection on ourselves. And I always enjoy when I start explaining what we're going to be doing because the look on people's faces is like, oh shit, like this is not what I thought we were gonna be doing, and even some of the folks that because it was mandatory training, right? So, a few folks are like, there was a person there at the end, she told me, she goes, when I saw what this class was about, I was already coming in, like, hating it already." She goes, "These are the types of classes that I hate. I hate these classes, like getting into your feelings, reflection. But also, what I tell people is like, really, in this class, the reflection and the stuff that we're talking about, it's like you facing you. Okay. And there's a lot of times where we don't want to face ourselves. Some of us don't even accept ourselves. That is the hardest part is looking in the mirror and thinking, "Oh shit, is it me? Like, is there something, with me that maybe I got to work on too?" And sometimes it is, and a lot of people don't want to face that. And that's okay, right? When you're ready, then you do, then you will. But it's that's the type of communications that we're doing and just trying to talk to each other and hopefully be able to build a culture within our centers where people will want to stay. And they're out there. I know they are because I've been there and I've seen them and I've spoken to these folks and they have said like even if they found a place that was a lot more money, they wouldn't want to leave because they're in a place that just is so good. Like they want to come in. And that is stuff that I love. So this person, she's telling me I was already hating this. The way she put it, I had my bitch face on and I had the attitude and I was like, I'm not gonna, I'm hating on this already. I am not gonna like this. And I'm just kind of standing there as she's saying this and she goes, but you know what, Ricardo? This was way better than I thought it was gonna be. And we appreciate you. And I was like, I'll take it. Hell yes. If I was able to get through someone who already had that feeling coming in and at the end they were down with it and it made sense and it got through, even though some folks were, in a way, not literally, but in a way, like kicking and screaming, right? Or fighting it or whichever. That's a win for me. One person is even just one person who is just hard, like fighting it, but it was way better than they thought it was going to be. And they appreciate me for it, bro. Like that's a win. I mean, there were tons of other people that were in there. They were like, "Thank you so much. That was, one of the best classes that I've had, and this and that." I'm all about that. Like that's what this course is about, and it's a lot of fun. Again, a lot of storytelling, a lot of reflection, a lot of emotion. Literally a roller coaster of emotions in this course, and I had so much fun with everyone. So the first two classes, it was a 9 to 5. And then the 3rd class was a noon to 8 PM, because one of the things that they asked me was, "Would you be willing to do, um, any night classes?" And I said, "Yeah, of course, as long as it works for you, or if it helps you guys more and it works, yeah, I will definitely help you out," because, um, I always worked midnight shifts except for a couple of morning stints, that I had, but the majority of my time in dispatch was midnights. And just to help everyone out, yeah, of course, I wanted to do that. So, like I said, the 2nd or the 3rd, um the 3rd class was noon to 8 PM. And then when I went back just this past week, that class was from 5 PM to 1 in the morning. No shit, like, I'm serious. 5 PM to 1 in the morning. That was something, man. Like, oh, and when people were coming in, they're like, "You ready for this?" I was like, "Are you ready for this?" Like, we're gonna do this. Like, I stay up late anyway. I've been out of dispatch for 11 years now. However, my sleep is pretty much the same as it was when I was in dispatch. I've been trying to do better, but I mean, it stays. It's just like dispatch here never goes away, dude. Never goes away. And which has helped me a lot in different situations. So I get there. The first 3 classes, I was all in a button up, bow tie, and everything. Nah, son, not for this last class. Cause like I said, it was going to 0 100. Nope. I was casual. I was in some nice jeans. I had my thin gold line edition Jordans. They're not thin gold line editions. They're black and gold. More so like a yellow, but I just call them my my thin gold line edition Jordans. And I had a black t-shirt with the state outline of North Carolina with the I am 91 logo inside. And we went through the class. When we had those 4 hours left, I when we came back from, like, lunch, I was like, "All right, here we go. This is the last half. These are the last 4 hours of what we are going to be doing." And when we were getting, like, towards the end, I'm looking up at the clock as I'm talking, at the same time, and everybody was awake, everything was good. We had a lot of discussion and everything, so that, really helped it along as well. But I ended exactly at 0 100, and I was like, "Boom, there we are. Thank you all so, so very much." And when I was walking back to my car, I thought, "Holy crap, it is after 1 in the morning." But again, it was so much fun. It was fun. Oh, what's going on? Jojo, Latinas of 911, busting in here. She says, "Hola, estoy tarde." Dude, it is all good. Welcome. Welcome. Bienvenido. Glad to have you here. Um, so thank you again, Raleigh Wake. It was so much fun, and your center is amazing. Now, because of lawyers and stuff, we're not allowed to take pictures in there or anything, but I will tell you, the building alone, like I shared a picture of the building on the outside. On the inside, no, but they're on, I forget what floor they're on in that building, but you walk in and it is like straight up NASA, dude. Like big ass screens on either side of the room. It looks like there's 8 of them put together, and it each has different things that are going on, and you've got your different pods and stuff, and it was just super cool in there. They also have this massage chair. I don't know how much it was. Someone said it was like $8,000. I think, it was they were just saying it. I don't know that it was that much, but it looked pretty cool, man. I didn't get a chance to use it. But it looked pretty awesome, and I'm glad that, that they have something like that. They've got peer support, they've got all kinds of things, but I will say this as well, their kitchen area where like, their break room, it looks like a fucking Starbucks. Yeah. That's how awesome it is, man. Um, but it was really cool to be in there again and just share so many stories, and I'm going to ask this specific person, permission, um, because I've gotten so many stories and just so many updates out of North Carolina with everything that was going on with Helene. Um, there was someone who wrote something that it pretty much went viral on Facebook, where they were detailing, just basically what it was like for them taking overflow from another county, and very powerful, very well written, very emotional. And I sent that person a message, and I told them that about what they wrote, and I just said thank you, for being honest and sharing that with folks, having the courage to do so. And I told this person that I was going to be at their center later on that day, and the person told me that they were going to be there as well. So I got to see this person again, actually, because this person was in my 8-hour class back in April when he was in Johnson County, North Carolina. And the person had told me that, and no, don't take this as a flex, tooting my own horn or nothing like that. That's not why I'm saying this. This person said that because of the class, and I'm guessing Imagine Listening and stuff as well, it gave them the courage to write what they wrote. And the reason I bring it up, because I told that person, "Thank you, so much for sharing that with me," and, that I was glad that the class impacted them that much. I share that because all I'm saying is that is what Imagine Listening is all about, and that course as well, because I tell people in that course that I hope that by the end of it, you also feel more comfortable talking about what it is that you do, especially because it's therapeutic. And that's the power of storytelling, the power of your story, the power of your voice, and that person felt that. And and I bring it up only because that's how important the I Am 911 movement is, as well as Imagine Listening, but more importantly, your voice and your stories and how it can change those around you, how it can change the world, man. And that was really special. So when I went to class, um, I walked up to that person and we shook hands and everything, and I just said, I'm so glad that you're here today." And when we did the Imagine Listening portion, that person shared, um, a little bit about what they wrote, but a little more in detail with all of us there in the room. Now, that portion wasn't recorded or anything, but all I can say was that it was a very emotional moment for a lot of folks that were in there, especially, the person that was sharing that story. And I'm so glad that you were there and that you were able to share that. Um, I'm going to reach out to this person and see if I can share it as well, in an episode or something. Of course, giving them credit, but just kind of sharing their story so that more people um, can hear it and know about it. So it was an excellent time out there in North Carolina. And I just, again, thank you, all of you, for everything that you do, for welcoming me in. I felt like family. And I will say this, for the life of me, I cannot remember this gentleman's name, but one of the parts that I do, that I have them do this reflection discussion on, they get into groups and they reflect on the beginning and just kind of their career and just talking with each other about it. Because I'm a firm believer that at some point in our lives, no matter what profession it is, we forget what it was like in the beginning, which is why there are a lot of folks that still are out there eating their young when new people come in. So during this part, one of the folks was talking about when they were in their academy and their 10 codes. And I don't have the recording, okay? Someone is going to email it to me from what I hear. And what it was though was part of their academy, one of the projects that they had to do was um and for their 10 codes, they had this project where they had to, I'm trying to remember if it was like they had to do it as a poem or as a song, or it was some way to put it in there for memorization. This person, they created a rap song to the beat of a Kendrick Lamar song. I don't remember which one it was, but the dude is rapping these 10 codes and, like, giving explanations and stuff, and we're listening to it, like, someone pulled it up and they were playing it on their phone, and I look at the dude and I was like, "This is freaking awesome, man," and he's just like, "Oh, well, and people were laughing and stuff, but it was they were laughing at they were laughing at his just kind of embarrassment, but everybody was like, "No, this is really good, like, this is cool." It was good enough that they took his creation and it's now in their training. It's part of their training now for, like, other academies, and I looked at it and was like, "Dude, that's freaking awesome." I said, "Seriously, like, that is really cool." Like, those are the folks that really put themselves into the profession that end up later on, like, becoming supervisors or just, leaders of the center. Like, it's projects like that that show you, some of the leaders that are there or up and coming. And if you ever see this man again, that was badass. That was really cool. And I super enjoyed it, man. That was so good. Looking over here really quick, Fletch says, once again, an example of where sharing makes all the difference in the world. We need to learn to toot our own horn a little more in the view of the public. Yeah, dude, for real. Yes. Latinas of 911 over here says, that is a good way to memorize it. Yeah. I, I'm going to see if I can get permission, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to even post it though, because of the beat that it's on. Maybe I can isolate it a little bit, but either way, it was really, really cool. And I had to tell the person over and over. The person was probably thinking like, "Okay, dude, now you're overdoing it." But that's how excited I was about it because that was so cool. It was one of the coolest things. And oh wait, Fledge says, "Look up the 10 Code song on YouTube first list." There's one on there too. I'll have to look it up here. But again, depending on the music, I don't think I'll be able to play it. Because like here live, like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, like they'll shut it down. It'll mute. It'll mute it like right off the bat. Hey, my mom is in here. She's in the audience. Hello, mom. Good evening. Good evening. Um, so yeah, everything was really cool. And I was these past couple weeks has just been so much fun. I've been having the time of my life for real, straight up, dirty dancing style at the end. Now I've had the time of my life. Oh, jeez. Yeah. But seriously, it has been so much fun, man. I love what I do, and I love getting a chance to meet all of you, go in there and teach and discuss and just have some good times with you. So, thank you all. It has been an experience. One of the things I wanted to mention right off the bat in the beginning that I didn't get because I just jumped right in because, like I said, there's a lot to talk. I just want to remind you that the final Dare to Be Great 6 is coming up in just a few months, like 2.5 months. Yeah, pretty much. Because we're going towards the middle of October. This is going to be December 9th through the 13th. It is completely free. Free. You can watch it live or you can watch it on demand afterward. I'm going to put the link in here so that you can check it out. And oh, mom, my good friend over here, Jojo, on Instagram says, "Hola, Senora Martinez." So welcome. So I put it in the Instagram section over here, and then over here on Facebook and everything. That is the link for Crowdcast. That's the platform where all of the virtual events are on. Again, it is Dare to Be Great 6. It's the final one, and it is going to be a whole week. It was usually just 4 days, but I decided to add Friday as well. I believe it ends at like 3:30 p.m. All of those sessions are going to be panel discussions that are coming up. And that is going to be a lot of fun as well. So, again, it is completely free. Sign up. We've got some awesome sponsors, diamond sponsors. We've got the 360 dispatcher. We've got In Digital. We've got Rapid SOS. And then we've got some gold sponsors of Nina IAD, as well as Showalter and Company and Prepared, and there's a lot more that are coming on. So make sure to jump in there. There's going to be a lot of amazing sessions. I am putting together all of the promo slicks, designing them, and I will be posting them within the next couple days, as well as the schedule, so that you can see all of the speakers, all of the sessions that are going to be on there, and you do not want to miss this one. It is going to be awesome. So that is there. And then, of course, and I'll put this on here as well. The invitation should still be good. If for some reason you can't get in, just send me a message and I'll send you another one. But I have a community that I am rebuilding because there's been so much stuff going on. I have not had a chance to do anything with it. There are like 200 or 300 people that are in there, but ramping it up because the community piece goes along with the virtual event so that people can continue to discuss and connect beyond. Now, with this community, it's Circle. Again, it's free. And what I wanted to do is, because I've got people who follow what I do on all different platforms, but some people don't have Facebook. Some people don't have X, or some people don't have Instagram. So I put this community together to bring everybody to one spot. It also has an app for your phone, and you can set up notifications however you want it. But again, this is basically for you to join free, and to continue the discussion beyond the virtual event, so that we can continue the conversation, whatever that conversation might be. On the left side, there's a bunch of different spaces where we can talk about resources, movies, music, other things with dispatch. But there's a bunch of stuff on there, even health, mental wellness. There's a lot of different spaces, and there's one where people just go in there and post memes. My good buddy James, he's got a space in there where he updates a lot of stuff that has to do with reclassification and such. So make sure to check it out. Again, it's free. Now that I've got a little more time, I've been jumping in there and trying to post a lot more, and just get more folks to engage. So we've got all of that that's going on. And let's see, we're at 53 minutes. I only do this for an hour, but I want to share a couple audio clips with you as we go into the wrap up of this open mic. And it has been a lot of fun with you. It has been excellent. So I'm going to go ahead and play this. Let me switch up the audio here really quick. The routing. All right. So here is clip number one. All right, here we go.
I don't even know how long into the job I was. This little old lady, it was like 11 o'clock at night, and I was about to get off work. And so I answered the phone. I was like, one more call is fine. This little old lady, she calls. She's like, there's a girl on my iPad. She needs some help. And I was like, okay, well, what's going on? She's like, she's making all kinds of noises, and this guy's doing stuff to her, and I don't know what's going on. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, it's stuck. I can't get out of it, but she needs help. I said, do you know where she is? She was like, no. And like I assume somebody pulled up something adult content on her iPad, and she was really really concerned about this girl. And I told her really there wasn't much I could do. I couldn't send nobody if she didn't know where she was, but I told her I could send her an officer, and I think I sent her an officer to help her with the iPad issue.
Okay, I want to make sure that all of you were able to hear that. Okay, I'm waiting for a comment, whether it be on Instagram or over here, Facebook, YouTube, X. I just want to make sure you were able to hear it. Otherwise, you were probably sitting there watching me do like make faces and you didn't know. Okay, over here on Instagram, everyone is saying yes. So if you didn't catch what was going on, a lady called in because basically there was like porn stuck on her iPad that someone must have put on there, and she didn't know how to get it off. She didn't know what she was watching, but she thought that the people were getting hurt. But they did send an officer out, so I mean that's going above and beyond, right? I mean, can you imagine though being the officer going out there and like walking in and like it's still on the iPad and you're like, "Ma'am, let me move this or remove it." See, that's what like a 911, we hear a lot of shit, right? And you can picture whatever is going on. And you hear a lot of embarrassing shit too. And but I've I've had conversations with people who have had like something like this happen or other things, and like the officer or EMS or whoever is going out there doesn't fully know what it is that they're going out to until they get there, and they like what? Like this is one of those moments. Like what if they didn't say exactly what was on the iPad, and then they get there and they see it and it's just like oots 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 oots. Oh my god! I just realized my mom is in the audience right now. Shit. Uh, Mom, are you still watching? Are you still in the audience? Let me see. Maybe she's not. Maybe she left. Maybe she left and she didn't hear it, or even like what I was explaining just now. Yeah, Jojo says awkward. Yes. Well, she hasn't responded. Oh, she did. She did respond. I'm sorry, Mom. Oh, holy crap, man. I'm crying. My face is red. Oh, yes, Mom. That is I'm going to put that on the screen. That is the exact face right there. Oh, that's awesome. Yep. That is great right there. Woo. Well, I don't remember what the next one is, but I guess brace yourself. So here we go. Here we go.
So this happened before I signed off. I was still in academy. It was our first night out on the floor. I was with another dispatcher that was taking calls that night as I was listening. And so we get the call. They're going to church and they found clothes folded up, a needle, a spoon, paraphernalia sitting there at the doors. And as we're talking, it come to find out they found the person that everything belongs to leaning up against the church. buck naked. So we start sending help out, and as the call continues, we find out that he is very stoned. He gets up and wants to do karate against the people. And then as we're talking to these poor churchgoers, next thing we know, he's walking around still naked, hugging everyone, saying, "Thank you for coming." And then started doing cartwheels in the middle of the courtyard. And that's about the time fire EMS showed up.
Oh my Lord.
So yeah.
And today being Sunday, that is that's a perfect call, because imagine that. Picture it, if you will, like Sophia from the Golden Girls. Picture it. You're headed to church and you see this straight up naked dude in front of the church doing cartwheels, and then just like hugging everyone and saying, "Thanks for coming." Dude, like, for real. That is that's funny stuff right there. Like, oh man. Again, that's another thing. Like, you have someone calling and telling you all of this stuff. And you got to stay professional. Like, you can't be you can't be laughing. But the visual alone, like in the back of your mind, you're just like cracking up. But then also trying to imagine when the officer gets out there, officers, whichever, gets out there, and the look on their faces, or even the thought in their head, like, okay, now we got to de-escalate this. I mean, oh, that is hilarious. All right, last one, and then we'll wrap it up. And I don't remember what this is. Oh, Sabrina says that's what the mute button is for. That's true, but sometimes you go to hit the mute button and your finger slips, and you think you've pressed it, and nope, it doesn't work. Oh man, I've had that happen. I remember I had that happen once where I thought I hit the mute button and I said something, and the person, and it wasn't towards the person. I was commenting on another call that I took that officers were going out to, and I was giving them information, and my caller goes, Was that for me? Wait, were you telling me that?" And I went, "Oh my god." I'm like, "No, no, 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 no. I'm sorry. That was not to you at all. I was just answering a question for a different call that's going on at the same time that I just finished with." Excuse me. And they're like, "Oh, okay. I was gonna say that has nothing to do with what I'm calling about." Oh, that mute button, man. Sometimes it works very well. Other times it backfires. All right, here we go.
I took a call from an elderly lady who was sitting outside of the Aldi in her car, and she was freaking out because she was locked inside her vehicle. She could not, for the life of her, figure out how to get out of the car. So we went through a couple of scenarios, and then I said, "Well, have you tried the door handle?" And she goes, "Oh my God, I think you just saved my life." So the door opened, and I told her to take her keys and go inside and find an employee and hand him her keys until officers could get there for a check on welfare.
So that's funny, right? And you think about it, and you're like, "How could that happen?" But it happens, dude. It happens. And I love that the lady was like, "You just saved my life," and because a lot of times when you're in that like a panic mode and stuff, and you're like locked in your car or whatever, you're like, "How the hell am I gonna get out?" And, you're not, like, you're not completely thinking straight, but, that happens, like, I'm sure a lot of you who are watching right now, a lot of people that I've spoken to have had people call in, and they've had to tell them, "Just pull on the handle," or you can see, like, the lock that button that's right there, just push it, and it opens it up, and they're like, "Oh," because, of course, everything's all electric and stuff, and when it turns off when it cuts off, you're like, "What do I do now? I'm not gonna be able to get out." So it happens more than you realize, more than you know, stuff like that happens. Oh, man. Alright, let me switch this mix minus here. Those were just a few clips. That is from an Imagine Listening session that's gonna be coming out, um maybe even next week. I don't know. This coming Wednesday will be an open mic from the Imagine Listening session that was at the Navigator Conference in DC back in April. And I think what I'm going to do is one of the most recent Imagine Listenings that I did um, out of North Carolina. I'm going to record all of those stories that were written. There's a huge stack of them. So it's going to be an epic Imagine Listening and then open mic session. But these were just a few clips from one of the times that I was out there a month or so ago. So look out for that. That is going to be an excellent one. It's going to be a lot of fun and powerful stories, just all of it. It's going to be good, and I can't wait for all of you to hear it. Going into the wrap up, I already went to Vegas, already went to North Carolina again, and I'll be going out in about a week and a half. I'll be in Cancun, Mexico. I'll be there for like 2 days, maybe a day and a half, something like that. No, 2 days because I'm the keynote speaker out there. So I'm going to be going out there for that. And then I head out to Georgia and then Texas and then Atlantic APCO. And then, of course, that'll take us into getting close to the final Dare to Be Great. So those are the places where I'm going to be. If you're going to be there, I cannot wait to see you and have you in my Imagine Listening session or in my 8-hour course. And I've already got stuff that's getting picked up in 2025. So going to be all over the place. It's going to be a lot of fun. But again, thank you all for what you do and for, just the courage to share your story if you have. And if not, it's okay. One day you will. But all of you as well, being in support of each other. Thank you. Thank you for what you do. And thank you for your trust in me over all of these years to share your stories. I am humbled. It has been an honor, and I will do it and continue doing it. It's what I love to do. So thank you for giving me this opportunity to be just a small part in your lives in your 911 story as well. Thank you. This live broadcast has been sponsored by InDigital, a leader next gen core services, and big shout out to everyone, whether you're a subscriber for bonus content or you're here watching, listening, supporting, sharing. Thank you. It has been excellent. And if you have any comments, questions, or you ever want to be a guest on the flagship show, you can email us, and that's going to be wttpodcast@gmail.com. Once again, that is wttpodcast@gmail.com. And you can follow us on social media. You can become a subscriber, whether it be on Patreon or Facebook or Circle. And the easiest way to do all of this is simply go to the link that is in the bottom left-hand corner, and that is links.co. I almost said .com. Nope, not .com. .co. Links.co/WTT podcast. That's links with 2 I's. .co/WTT podcast. You'll find everything there. My email, all of my social media, where to follow, where to listen to the latest episode, where to purchase Imagine Listening Volume 2. Also, I'm working on my version of Volume 1, and that is coming out as well. That'll be that week of Dare to Be Great 6. It'll be available then. It'll go up for pre-order here in the next couple of weeks as I finalize a couple of things that I need to do with it. And if you are looking for free continuing education, there's a link on there as well. Also, for any podcast or dispatch merchandise, it's there. And if you have ordered something within the last week or so, because I've been out of town for the last 2 weeks, It'll be going out in the next couple days, and I know a few of you have ordered these hats. So don't worry, I have not forgotten you. I've just been out of state and I haven't been able to do it because I send stuff from here. And if you've ordered a t-shirt, um, and like a patch or a sticker or something like that, I'll be sending that to you separately. So if you got your package and you're like, what happened to the sticker? That's why, because I have the stickers here, but I use for some of the t-shirts a third party and they're sent out separately. So in case you're wondering, that's why you've got one versus the other, and I will be sending those out in a couple of weeks. Um, Thank you again. This can be seen on Facebook, YouTube, X, as well as Instagram, and for the flagship show, also LinkedIn Live. And you can listen to the flagship show 24/7 on Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, your favorite podcasting app, and withinthetrenches.net. Have a good one, everyone, and I will see you all in the next one.